Terrier from Bed and Biscuits Boarding and Training Facility. This is Aloe. He's done really well. He's here for the on-leash training, and I've got like a 5 or 6 foot leash. This is like 4 or 5 feet long. 6 foot works really good, 5 or 6 foot. I'm using a prong collar. He really is he's at the point where he doesn't really have to have the prong collar, but as I recommended to you when you came to visit him, when you first get him home, I would use a prong collar for the first week or so, and then if he seems like he's doing really well, you can try his regular collar and hook to it. The minute he tries to take advantage and pull or not listen as well, I would put this back on, but do not leave this collar on. Only have it on while you're training, and as soon as you're done, take it back off, because you can hook it on a gate, doorknob, anything, tree limb, and hang it. He can hang himself. So leave it off while he's out playing. Only use the collar when he's training. Okay, during all these exercises, the dog is at your left side. Okay, always at your left side. I'm going to go over the hand signals as we go along also, but I'll go over them now as well. The hand signal to sit is just bring your hand up like this. Tell him to sit, bring your hand up like that. He knows the command, the verbal command, as well as the hand signal. Stay is just preferably have him looking at you. Wait till he's looking, and then put the palm of your hand in his face and tell him to stay. Okay? Palm of your hand in his face is stay. Even if you're back at the 6 foot, tell him to stay, and he knows what that hand signal means. Okay? Down is to face him like this. You're going to point, put your finger right to the ground, and tell him to down, and he should lay down. Okay? Come is a hand signal. Bring your hand to your chest. Okay? So it's sit, stay, down, and come. All right? The verbal command I've been using for him to, if he's jumping, which he had a real bad jumping problem. I'm not going to say it's fixed totally, but he doesn't jump on me. He doesn't jump on my children much, but he does. I see when you come, he'll try to jump on you a little bit, especially if he's off leash. But the thing not to do is when you're sitting in a chair, don't let him come up onto your lap with his front feet, because he doesn't care if you're sitting or standing. If you allow him to come up on your lap with his front feet sitting, he's going to do the same thing probably when you're standing. So cold turkey, stop that completely. Getting down on the floor next to him when he's hyped up and you first come in and see him, I wouldn't do that. Later on, after he's mellowed out and he's laying down on the floor and behaving himself, if he can behave himself, you can get down on the floor and hug him and all that. But I wouldn't do it when he's excited, because you get down to his level and he's gonna try to take advantage of it. Okay? We're gonna basically go through about 4 different exercises: the heel on leash, the sit stay, the down stay, and the recall. We're also gonna incorporate your little stroller, your walker, so that way if you're using that, you're out somewhere at an event and you want to take your walker, I'm going to walk with him with that today, and he should walk next to you, not next to the walker up in front of you. Have him heel next to you, always next to your heel down here, okay? So when we come back, we'll start out with the heel on leash. Good boy. Okay, again, left side with the dog, always. I always start out with him in a sit before I start the heel, okay? Anybody can drag their dog around by just pulling him like this, keeping it tight. He's not going to like that. It's going to teach him to pull away from you as you pull towards you. So what you do, you can hold it just like, I think the way you do is like this, which is perfectly fine. Okay? Leave it a little bit loose. That way, that's his reward. His reward for walking correctly is leave it loose. There's no pressure on that collar at all. If he starts to go any other direction, pull forward, lag behind, go see a squirrel, whatever. It's just pull and release. It's never pull and hold. Pull and release, not even that hard. Just pull just to where it gets tight and then releases. And he should, you can give him the command, like if he's walking somewhere else or trying to pull forward, I tell him to heel as I pull up one time, okay? If you stop walking, he should automatically sit. If he doesn't, when you stop walking and he stands there, tell him to sit and give one little pull and release, and he should sit. He's been doing very well with that. Let's see how he does with the heel and leash. Sitting at your left side, take your first step. Even if he's standing there, doesn't really want to go, walk. Just start walking, tell him to heel, and he'll follow you. Okay, ready, Aloe? Heel. Good boy. Come on. Good boy, praise him, good boy. Aloe, heel. Come on, good boy. Come on, good boy. Exercise finished and praise your dog. Good boy. Okay, this is going to be Aloe's, we'll do the sit stay now, okay? He's already sitting, but you're going to put your hand up like this, tell him to sit, hand signal to stay. You got to say stay very firmly, because as you walk away slowly, I think what you were doing, I'm not going to say wrong, but it was kind of making him follow you before, was you were keeping a leash a little bit tight as you were backing away. He was taking that as if you were pulling him to come to you. So what I do, I'll show you as I do it. Okay, sit, good boy. Stay, say it firmly, stay. I let the leash all the way loose till you got to the very end of the leash. Stay. That way it doesn't get tight till you get all the way back, and then still don't ever get it real tight. Stay. Stay. You're only going to stand here for a couple seconds. Stay. Return. So he doesn't anticipate, make him stay a little bit longer. Stay. Exercise finished and praise your dog. Good boy. Okay, this is going to be Aloe's recall. You're going to do exactly like you did the sit, stay. Sit, stay, walk to the end of your leash. If he even looks like he's going to follow you as you're stepping back, reinforce the word stay, okay? And then you're going to get back there and you're going to turn and face him at the end of your leash. You're going to bring your hand to your chest, okay? And tell him to come. He should come to you. I've taught him to sit at your feet. Really what we're trying to do is just get him to come to you, so off leash later on, when you call your dog, he comes to you. This is where we have to start out. And notice I'm not using any treats through all this. He gets rewards afterwards throwing the ball, but they learn real quick if you do or don't have a treat, and you don't want him that treat oriented to where he doesn't listen to you if you don't have a treat. So that's like a last resort for me. He definitely doesn't need that. I haven't used treats at all for the training. Okay, sit, stay. Again, leave the leash loose, stay, stay. Out, come. Exercise finished and praise your dog. Okay, this is going to be Aloe's down stay. Exactly like the sit. You're going to put him in a sit. You're going to turn and face him. I put my finger right to the ground when I tell him down, okay? When he's jumping, I'm going to kind of jump to something else here real quick. When he's jumping on you or trying to, the word is off. I put the palm of my hand out like that and tell him off. So when he jumps, you don't hit him. You keep your elbow straight all the time. So when he jumps into the palm of your hand with his nose. It doesn't take too long, and it's kind of discouraging to them. They don't get to jump up on you like they want to. After a while, they stop. So I just tell them off. So to keep them from jumping on you, the word is off. To lay down, the word is down. They sometimes can easily get confused and mixed up. Okay, to keep them from jumping on you is off. Get them to lay down is down. Okay? So you're going to have him sitting, your left side, going to turn and face him, and tell him down. If he doesn't do it the first time, you might want to tell him twice, but then just grab, he knows what I'm going to do. Just grab the leash, and as you tell him the second time, just pull him gently with the leash down to the ground. Once he sees you getting ready to do that like he just did with me, he lays right down. One of the biggest things he'll probably test you at home, when you stand up and try to walk away from him, he may pop back up. So really enforce the word stay as you get up and move back, okay? And don't pull the leash, leave it loose. And only stay back there for maybe a couple seconds to start out with. Later on, you can leave him there for 2 or 3 or 5 minutes, but that's down the road. You have to start out with small increments. Stay, down, stay, 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 stay. Even at this distance, he knows what this means. Stay. Return to your dog, stay, Stay. So in case he wants to anticipate, I'll make him stay there a little bit longer. Stay. Good boy, Frankie. Sit. Good boy, exercise. Okay, I have the walker here. It's a very nice one with big wheels, pushes nice. And like I said before, don't, when you come up like this, keep it real tight. That's not a good way. Just like when you're heeling normally. I keep it a little bit loose. You want to keep it in the same hand like that, you can. He's not at all afraid of it. He's used to it. I went around him with it, and I think you said even at home, he's used to being around it at home, so he's not scared at all of it. I keep it a little bit loose, but you don't want him to walk and heel with you with him being up there heeling with the walker. I prefer to have him walking with you, because if you do it with a walker, then when you don't have the walker, he's going to still try to be up there in front of you. And even with a walker, when you're going to meet somebody, somebody's coming up, he's gonna get to them first, and that's not the way you really want to do it. You want him to be back here with you, heeling at your heel all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna do just a little demonstration with a heel with this, just as we did normal with a normal heel, and see how he does. Okay, ready, Aloe? Heel. Aloe, heel. Exercise finished and praise your dog. Good. Okay, I'm going to try something that I haven't really tried even in all of his training, but I think he'll probably do good with it. If you opt to later on do the off lead, I think he would be really, really good for that. He needs to grow up a little bit, take him home, get him around other distractions, different things, kids, loud noises, other people, other dogs, okay? And then you can go to further training with him. But I was able to get him around other dogs, but not up close. They're in their runs, and we walk past him and do a sit, the heel, the stays in front of the other dogs. But see, they're in their runs, and he's outside in the walkway through the kennel, so he can't get to them, they can't get to him. He knows that, but he doesn't choose to get aggressive. He doesn't really want to play with them. He's perfect. He really is. So I don't think you're going to have a problem there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in a sit stay. I'm going to take the stroller and walk around him and just see how ready he is for the off lead. I think I would imagine he's going to do really good with this, but I want to get him ready for the off lead in case you choose to do it later. Sit, stay, stay, stay. Now, like I have not done this at all before, but I'm going to lay the leash on the ground and try to walk around him with a walker and see if he stays like I think he will. Stay, 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 stay. Just like I thought he's doing. Excellent. Exercise finished, praise your dog. Okay, for a conclusion, I think you wanted me to talk a little bit about like an everyday routine you can go through with him. That's a good idea. All these exercises that I just did, because we're videotaping, I'm taking a little bit longer, but it doesn't take any more than 10 minutes. Every morning and every afternoon is what I do, unless I get rained out. If I get rained out, I try to do it in the building, which is good because, like I say, I can do it around the dogs, sitting, walking down through the walkway. Other dogs are barking, and he walks right down. He sits. He's a little concerned about the barking if there's some going on, but he's not scared. He doesn't bark back. He doesn't get aggressive. I mean, I think he's going to be really good for your therapy that you want him for. He just, he's 6 months old. He needs to grow up. I think he's doing outstanding for a puppy. but he does need to grow up some before you go too much further. You can't expect a lot out of a 6-month-old puppy. I don't care how good they are or what breed they are. But like I say, when you do these exercises, I would try to, if you can, inside, outside, doesn't matter. I do a little bit of both. Don't do it any more than 10 minutes every day. You can do it twice a day if you want, but I wouldn't, if you do more, like, you know, you find yourself going into 30 minutes or 20 minutes, you'll start to notice after a while, he's not taking much interest in learning more. He wants it to be done with. It's too much. You know, it's like a small child. Their attention span is not that great when they're very young. So keep it exciting for him. Praise the heck out of him. Not with treats, I wouldn't. I let him usually go after this. I throw a ball, let him do other stuff out here, play with him, and really praise him every exercise, or even through the exercise as he's doing it right. Good boy, always praise him. But I don't give him a treat either, because I don't want him to become solely treat oriented. Okay, so you're gonna do that if you can once or twice a day for 10 minutes each time. If things are not going real well, end it on a good note, good boy, and be done. And then later that day or the next day, he'll probably do better. We all have bad days. They're no different. I know the potty training with him. I tried to do it here. I don't in potty training, but you got a little bit of a different situation, because one place you need him to go outside in the grass, the other place you need him to go indoors on a potty pad. He didn't have to do the potty pad very well here. He'd rather chew the potty pad up and not use it, but he's doing the potty outside in the grass excellent. So if there's a way you can get him outside at both of your locations where you're going to be at, that's where he's going to be the best. I don't know what else I can do here, because like I say, I don't specialize in that here. But as far as you take him outside, he's very good. First thing he does is go potty, almost in the same area every time, goes a little bit over to the other side, goes poop every time. He's eating well, he's doing really, really good. So I think he's got an excellent start. And I don't say this with all the dogs, but off leash, a little later on when he grows up, you know, whenever it be, maybe a couple months, you take him home, get on the same page with the training as he is. Y'all get a good rapport going with that, and then you call me up and we can schedule an off-leash training. He can do all these exercises without the leash at all, but I keep him usually 3 to 4 weeks on that. But that's up to you. Not everybody wants that or needs that, but I think this dog would be very good at it. Not all dogs would be. So thank you very much. Good boy.